Hey there guys, welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to another toy review. This time we have for you the last member of the Manhattan clan, and that is none other than the Gargoyles, Angela. As you can see here on this box, really nice illustration of her and Bronx. Looks like they're on some type of a boat. What's interesting is this is a magical boat. If you watch the cartoon specifically in season 2, this boat would take the Gargoyles, specifically it was Elisa and Goliath, to areas of the world where they were needed. There was some type of mystery that was happening, something mythical, like the Loch Ness Monster, Banshees, the missing eye of Odin, those types of things. And so they were sent there specifically to help out. Now, on the way to their travels, they managed to come up to the mystical and magical island of Avalon, where they meet Angela, and then Angela on the return home, Angela actually ends up joining the clan. So she's not a Rookery sister of the of Brooklyn, Broadway, or Lexington, but she is part of the Rookery eggs from the very first episode that managed to get protected and survived during the Vikings invasion. So her backstory is really, really interesting. We'll get into a little bit more into it as we go along the figure. But as you can see here in the box, great illustration. You see the castle back here. I don't know if this is supposed to be Castle Wyvern. I don't think it is. I think this is a castle on Avalon, which has a different name, and I can't remember it right now. But nice illustration. Great job. I really like the pose. Really cool. You've got the Disney logo, Gargoyles, and then her name, Angela. When we open the box up, boom, you can see here, really nice. Look at this, almost vampire-like with the fangs and the look. Really nice. You can see here the pose. She's up on top of some type of a church steeple. And then here you've got the figure itself. Comes with a bunch of different things, different accessories. We've got a Rookery egg and then a gargoyle baby that hatches from the egg. I would imagine this is her as a child. I don't know if she showed up in a flashback and that's why this is like this. More than likely, right? And then we've got a change in her face. So unlike the other gargoyles that comes with a different head sculpt, this one takes after Demona that has a faceplate that changes. So Demona doesn't have an alternate head. She has an alternate faceplate, and it looks like Angela comes with that same type of a deal when it comes to changing the look of the face. All right, so we've got here on the side, you can see here her claws are nice and open. We've got, again, the open mouth with the fangs showing, eyes squinting a little bit, very, very vampire-like. In her expression. Here we've got it in the back. We've got her posed up differently. Here you can see her normal face. She looks really normal, really sweet. But don't cross her because then you'll get the that evil, menacing look. I mean, it is evil, menacing, even though she's not an evil character. It's in her name, right? Angela. She's angelic, right? There's a reason behind that. We'll get into it as we go along. So you can see here we've got the little gargoyle, baby gargoyle, which again I do think it's her, but I could be wrong. And then you've got the other characters. And like I said in the last video, I've got Lexington on the way and regular David Xanazos. So here we've got, again, on the side, just a nice normal look on her. She's got a bit of a smile there. She's looking at you with some tender heart eyes, in my opinion. So really cool character. Can't wait to open her up. There's the top, there's the bottom, and once again we've got the folks that had their hands involved in bringing us this fantastic product. So let's go ahead and open her up and let's see what she's about. All right, and here we have Angela out of the package, just like the others. Really nice mold. As you can see here in the sculpting, there's not a lot of muscle tone in this particular figure. Why? Because obviously, number one, it's female, but you do see some type of some muscle tone, right? Enough to keep her feminine and yet look strong at the same time. So I think it's a well balanced look. You don't want it to look overly masculine because then it takes away the femininity, which makes it so unique and so beautiful. But it's enough to let you know that she's also strong, right? And I love that because you've got that, like I said, you've got that great blend of strong and femininity mixed into this wonderful character. The sculpting in the hair is phenomenal. As you can see here, she comes all around. She's got it laced up in the back. Really nice. If you notice, a lot of nice accessory, nice belt. She actually does come with these bracelets, which is really nice touch of detail, because that's exactly how she was. And she's got little dangling earrings, little gold dangling earrings. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, and they do dangle, so they're not molded on there, as you can see there. They're loose. It's an accessory piece, right? Coming down to the legs, great job. Articulation is phenomenal amongst all the figures. You've got your shoulder, you got your elbows, you got your wrist, right? You've got your knees, you got your legs. I don't think there's any waist, but you do have your upper torso there, which is great. Either you want the twist at the waist or up in the upper torso, right, to give it a little bit more of an action pose. You do have some ankle joints, right, with some toes. You got the bendy wire tail, which is great. And then you've got, of course, the solid wings. Now, I don't hear the ratchet sound on these, but they're not loose at all. They stay in great shape, in great position. So I'm going to try and see if I can, there we go. Again, the wings are heavy, right? There you go. The wings are heavy, and she is a bit of a smaller character in comparison to the others. She's not as heavy, but you can see here, we got her standing, we got her posed. Can't look up because of the hair. She's going to have a little bit of that issue, but if I can get her to, let's say, use her tail, there we go. I can use the tail as a stand, and now she's perfectly standing. Now, what's really cool is the wings. I really like the level of detail, because if you look at every single one of the Gargoyles' wings, maybe for the exception of Thalog, because he's an actual repaint of Goliath, everybody else has very different wing patterns on the inside of their wings. You couldn't tell that in the cartoon because the cartoon doesn't have that level of detail, right? But I think the sculptors and NECA went above and beyond by giving us this. It's almost like a fingerprint. Each wingspan on the inside is different than all the others, which is really nice level of detail. So let's go ahead and check out her accessories and see what she comes with. All right, so here I am with the accessories. Not a whole lot of accessories, but some really unique ones. Let's start off with, are they in screen? Is everything in screen? Yes. We got the hands, right? She's got her open claw hands there. She's got semi-open hands here, right and left, right? A little bit different. And then she's got the completely closed fists, right? Remember in the other ones they had somewhat closed and then completely closed, right, to hold stuff. So I think she can hold something with this hand. Looks like that's going to be the only one that she's going to be able to hold something with. Comes with the alternate face. Like I said, it's a face swap. It's not a head sculpt, and that's perfectly fine. I don't mind that because, quite frankly, that hair looks good, relaxed, and I don't think because of the wings you're going to be able to do a whole lot with the hair. So this is perfectly fine. I'm totally okay with just swapping out the face. And then here's the cool part. Comes with, like I said, the egg and this little baby gargoyle, which I think it might be her and it might not be her because the hair color is different. Her hair is black and this little guy has purple. So I don't know. Maybe you guys help me out. Tell me who this is if you guys know. And comes with the egg. Egg does open up, as you can see here, nice on the inside, nice and smooth. This little baby creature does fit into the egg. You're going to have to find a way to pose him up so that he stands. He did stand before, so there it goes. So he can stand in the egg there. The egg will not close on there, but that's okay. But this little character is pretty cool. He has some level of articulation. There's a little articulation on the wings. The head, you can see here. The arms do go up and down. They are on a ball joint. And he's got some on the legs. The legs actually do open up and move front to back. So that is pretty neat. The tail just spins around, so there's no bendy wire in the tail. But really cool. If this is not Angela as a baby, which now I don't think it is, it could be the new generation of Gargoyles that's on Avalon, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. It's been so long. Gosh, it's been what, like 30 years since I've seen this cartoon, specifically season 2. So I don't really, I don't remember, but good level of accessories that she comes with. Nothing major, nothing big, nothing. There's nothing else that I would really like to add based on the cartoon. So yeah. Now I do want to talk about the mold. I'm gonna bring here in a minute. I'm gonna bring in Demona in here, and I don't know if this is the same Demona mold with a different, with different clothing. I'm not that detail oriented where I can tell, all right, this came from a different character and so on and so. Shout out to Shartimus Prime, who does a bunch of Marvel action figures. He's able to do that. He's able to say, all right, this was the old Bucky mold, and those boots came from Captain America, or something like that, right? He's got such level of detail that I just don't seem to have. So I'm gonna get her out here and just compare her and see if we can see if it's a completely new mold or if they just retooled and reused the Demona mold. I would say, again, aside from the clothing, this could potentially be the same mold, obviously just retooled. But let's get into it. Let's take a look. All right. So here I've got Angela and Demona. And why do I have them? Interestingly enough, the two of them here. Anytime I pair these guys, there's always a backstory. Like when I paired Demona with Brooklyn, like I had said in the Brooklyn review, there was a moment where Demona had tricked Brooklyn into believing the humans were evil and the humans were bad, and causing some internal conflict within Brooklyn that would cause him to, I wouldn't say betray Goliath, but perhaps it compromised his view and his position, and obviously how Goliath viewed human and gargoyle interaction. So anyhow, so in this particular case, now spoiler, if you guys plan on watching the cartoon series and you guys have not, so spoiler alert, Demona is actually Angela's biological mother. So from the very first episode, I think it's like the second or third episode, it's established, actually no, I'm sorry, it's from the first episode, it's established that Demona is Goliath's love interest. What we don't ever get to see is how deep their love was, right, in the sense of how long they were in a relationship for, so on and so forth, but there were strong ties there. And so what happens is that when Goliath takes his magical trip to Avalon with Elisa, they come across the Rookery. I'm having trouble standing her because her tail is like all weird and stuff like that. And in this case, I don't know, her wings are drooping down, and the reason why I don't have them placed in there correctly. But anyhow, so it's Goliath goes on to this trip, if you will, this adventure with Elisa, and when they come to Avalon, they encounter other gargoyles on this magical land. And so one of the two characters that they meet, one of them is Angela, and the other one is Gabriel. Now, if you look at Angela, if you look at her coloring, very, very similar to our buddy Goliath here. And everybody's, it's the problem with having these huge wingspans, right? Everybody can get knocked down. So I'm gonna remove these accessories. Sorry, I didn't do that before. If you can see here, their skin color is very, very, it's almost exactly the same. And they do mention that. I think Elisa Mazza actually mentions her skin color, and there's a lot of familiar features that she has. So, and given her name, Demona, demon, Angela, angel, right? It eventually comes to light that Angela is Demona and Goliath's biological daughter. At the very beginning, Goliath doesn't accept that, but as a couple of episodes progress, Angela is eventually in danger. Goliath has to save her. Goliath realizes, based on the danger that Angela is in, that how much he loves her, and he eventually accepts her as his daughter. So it's a phenomenal again story, and to point, I do believe that they did use the same mold because it looks exactly the same. Again, minus the clothing. That's the only difference. And this, is it? Yeah, it's modeled on there. Just wanted to see. Yeah, it's modeled on there. The cloth is different on both of them, but that's about the main difference, right? Is the clothing. The arms are the same, the legs are the same. The wings look the same, just colored differently, or the pattern might be different. I think the pattern is different. She tends to take more of Goliath's wing type, right? So she has her mother's body with the coloring of her father. A really nice blend. The artist who came up with this character did a phenomenal job of blending the two to make this third character. Angela's really cool. Like I said, she's really sweet character. She's soft, she's sweet. She doesn't know much about war. Demona has been hardened, unfortunately, due to her time on Earth. Around humans and the deception that she witnessed, with the Vikings first, then with Macbeth and the Hunters, and then everybody in between. So she's been hardened through the ugliness of the world, where Angela has been protected on a magical island. So her disposition and outlook towards life is very different. And I really enjoyed Angela. I loved it when she joined the crew. And she just added an extra layer to actually Goliath's personality, because the entire time we saw him as the clan leader, but then to see him as dad, there were moments that really softened him up. And now that I have my daughter, I can relate even more to this character. I related before in the sense that he's the leader, he's good, and so on and so forth. But it gives that extra layer now that I have my own Angela, if you will. But again, guys. Phenomenal character, phenomenal figures across the board. I really love these. I can't wait to complete it. I hope they continue. I do want to draw one last point to the accessories of the earrings. Mom has very similar earrings, and instead of having a bracelet on her wrist, Demona's got one on her leg. So as you can see, the character design and the thought that went into this was really outstanding on a different level. And it's just, when you see little things like that, it makes you appreciate it from an artistic standpoint. So guys, that's my review for Angela. Again, still recommending to buy each and every one. Now I have 3 gargoyles where they need folded wings. I need Hudson, Broadway, and now Angela. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I will see you next time. Take care. Peace out till all are one.